What's up everyone? Alex here. Stacks, soul matrix, soul levels, and commander skills. There are a ton of new and exciting things to play around with in Soul Hackers 2, but with that comes a reluctance to try things out. And so, in this video, I want to give you the confidence to play around with Soul Hackers 2's systems by giving you everything you need to make better decisions as you play through the game. Keep in mind that I will be doing this without mentioning any story spoilers or specifics, meaning you will still have to play through the game on your own. And given how demon negotiation and fusion have been a staple of games like SMT and Persona, I won't be covering any of that here. That being said, if you're still on the fence with the game and you also want to learn what kinds of toys you can play with in Soul Hackers 2 without being spoiled, you've found the right place. Finally, this video is chapter marked for your convenience, so feel free to bounce around depending on what topic you want to hone in on. Also, I'll occasionally display important information, so make sure you check in on what's on screen from time to time. Let's begin by covering some basic battle concepts. In order to understand Soul Hackers 2's combat, we'll need to talk about the game's stack system. I'll go so far as to say that the stack is singularly the most important part of the game's combat. Unlike some RPGs, you will be able to tell your party what to do without worrying about demons interrupting you. We'll call these sets of turns as your party's turn. Every time you hit an enemy with their weakness, you will add 1 point to the current stack. You'll also be adding the demon that inflicted said weakness in the background as a shadowy figure. When your party's turn is up, as long as you have 1 stack available, all of the shadowy demons in the background will emerge and unleash a powerful attack called the Sabbath. Unleashing the Sabbath is automatic, and will use up any stacks you have at that point. The Sabbath's damage has no elemental or physical properties, meaning it's pure damage. And as you might have guessed, the higher the stack, the higher the damage you'll deal. One thing that you should know is that stacks are not limited to the amount of party members you have, meaning you can get passives that, for example, can even add 1 additional stack every time you hit an enemy with a specific elemental weakness. And regardless of how many stack enhancing passives you've got going, all of these stack on top of each other. See what I did there? With these passives, you can potentially unleash all of the demons you're carrying with you during Sabbath. One advantage of the Sabbath is that some demons will have tandem abilities that can be randomly triggered prior to the attack, which will activate certain perks. These perks can range from stealing items from enemies to healing your party based on the damage you've inflicted during Sabbath, to name a few. And if you manage to imbue your demons with tandem abilities and pair that with a high stack count, you can increase the chance of tandem abilities appearing. If more than 1 tandem ability is activated, you will be given a choice to trigger a specific ability, but time is limited. On top of stack, Sabbaths, and tandem abilities are commander skills. Commander skills can be accessed by every member of your party, but it requires Ringo to be alive. I should also add that when Ringo is defeated in combat, the battle does not stop, meaning you can revive Ringo and push onward. That being said, access to commander skills is crucial because one of its more useful features is that it allows you to change a party member's currently equipped demon. That being said, commander skills can only be activated after a requisite number of turns, though I should point out that once you've sufficiently met these turn requirements, that commander skill will be available in future battles. What this means is that you can fight weaker enemies to charge these skills up before a big boss fight. Next, let's go over affinities. In addition to Agi, Fire, Zayo, Lightning, and Bufu, Ice, you have 2 physical attacks in the form of melee and ranged attacks, in addition to Zan, Force, and Ruin. Unlike other SMT games, physical attacks cost MP to use, and aren't limited to the type of weapon a summoner is using. There are no light and dark skills in Soul Hackers 2. Any status ailments you can inflict on enemies, whether it's sleep, poison, paralysis, or otherwise, fall under Ruin. This means that you can fuse demons in such a way that you can protect yourself from status ailments, and that there will be demons that are specifically weak to these. So keep that in mind when planning your fusions. The game's UI tracks all of these affinities, though much like other SMT-style games, you'll also have Almighty, which is not really an element, but a skill type. The Sabbath is an Almighty skill, which means it'll go through any elemental or physical resistances due to its skill type. We've gone over a ton of concepts here, so let's recap. Stacks build up every time you hit an enemy with their weakness. The amount of stack you earn can be increased using passives and other skills. You'll automatically unleash a powerful Almighty attack called the Sabbath at the end of your party's turn, as long as you have one stack. This attack has no element or physical properties, so it is pure damage. The higher the stack count, the bigger the damage. Tandem abilities are special demon skills that can randomly trigger during Sabbath. These abilities have beneficial effects, and you can select which one to activate if more than one is triggered. Commander skills are skills that the party can use that require Ringo to be alive. This is how you'll be able to change a party member's demon in battle. These skills use turns as currency. The turns you accumulate carry over from battle to battle, meaning you can earn turns to activate commander skills in preparation for a big boss fight, if you so wish. Ringo's death does not end combat, but it does prevent you from using commander skills. The following are affinities present in the game: physical melee, physical range, and both of these spend MP and is not limited to the weapon the summoner is using: Agi, fire; Zio, lightning; Bufu, ice; Zan, force; and Ruin, which encompasses any status ailment in the game. Almighty is not an element, but a type of skill. It has no elemental or physical properties. And the Sabbath is an Almighty skill. Now that we've talked about combat, let's talk about 3 elements of Soul Hackers 2's progression that serve as its building blocks: comp skills, commander skills, and summoner skills. Comp skills affect the properties of your summoner's physical attacks, in addition to obtaining abilities that can help you during battle. Things that can fall into the latter definition include, but are not limited to, inflicting damage at the start of battle or causing enemies to faint after an attack. In addition to this, Ringo has a set of comp skills that's exclusive to her that I believe you'll find important, so I highly recommend checking hers out. Commander skills are skills that Ringo can learn that can help manage party situations in combat. As I said before, this includes changing a specific party member's demon. It is also here that you'll find skills that manipulate stacks in various ways, but I'll leave that to you to discover. Both comp skills and commander skills can be purchased at the comp store, which may require crafting materials. Thankfully, Soul Hackers 2 will conveniently tell you where to find the required materials simply by highlighting said material and viewing the precise location and demon you'll need to defeat. Pretty cool, huh? In order to unlock more comp and commander skills, you have to advance through the main story and then complete requests specific to the comp store. These requests appear after major story beats. In fact, every store will have their own requests to expand their wares, so make sure to do them as soon as you're able. Summoner skills are passives that can enhance each summoner's stats and stack growth, as well as give you abilities that'll aid you outside of combat. Things that can fall into the latter definition include, but are not limited to, being able to escape dungeons using a learned spell or manipulating spawn rates while exploring. You can obtain new summoner skills by venturing deeper into that summoner's soul matrix, which requires you to gain soul level to unlock certain gates. Keep in mind that Ringo's summoner skills can only be obtained after another summoner has obtained a summoner skill. Soul levels can be obtained via dialogue choices in the main story and hangouts. You can trigger hangouts by completing certain requests or obtaining items of import in each story dungeon, which doesn't include the soul matrix. There's at least 2 of these per story dungeon, and they'll often be carried by demons that spawn in preset locations. With all these intertwining and interconnecting systems, you may want a way to balance things out for your builds to function effectively. That's where the Mystique system comes into play. Mystiques not only allow you to amplify the damage output for specific affinities, but also allow you to equip certain skills regardless of the demon you have equipped, just to name a few of its useful features. Think of these like you do accessories in other RPGs that can slightly tweak things related to affinities. Because comp skills affect physical attacks and properties surrounding it, both physical melee and ranged attacks are not amplified by Mystiques. Soul Hackers 2 distinguishes this changed list of affinities by calling them Mystique Affinities, and replaces physical attacks with Almighty, Support, and Healing. In the beginning, you'll primarily obtain Mystiques once you've fully acquired all of a demon's skills, though this is certainly not guaranteed. And this might sound grindy, especially given how this method requires you to level up a demon multiple times. But unlike other SMT games, acquiring demons has been made infinitely easier simply because you can stumble upon them during dungeon exploration. I've probably leveled up the same demons at least 5 times just because of how easily I've stumbled upon them, and how often I've retired them. So this process won't take you long to do. That being said, there will be ways to trade in multiples later on to purchase more powerful Mystiques, as well as unlocking the ability to increase the likelihood of demons giving these to you. In addition to this, Mystiques have different ranks, and you'll need to upgrade that Mystique Affinity's rank to be able to use more powerful Mystiques of that affinity, which you can do at the comp store. However, not every character can equip just any Mystique, as each summoner will have at least 2 Mystique Affinities that they're banned from enhancing. This is Soul Hackers 2's way of forcing you to think of building each summoner specific to what Mystique Affinities are available to them. And while there are ways of unlocking these banned Mystique Affinities, I think it's better to focus on what your characters could do at the moment rather than forcing everyone to be a jack of all trades. And to reiterate, Mystiques are a great way to complement your build, and you can choose to either build around this or use it to plug up missing elements of your character's builds. We've gone over a ton of concepts again, so let's round them all up. Comp skills affect the properties of your summoner's physical attacks, in addition to obtaining abilities that can help you during battle. Ringo also has a set of comp skills that's exclusive to her that fall outside of these parameters. Commander skills are skills that Ringo can learn that can help manage party situations in combat, like being able to change a party member's equipped demon. This also includes a few abilities that can help manipulate stacks. You can obtain comp and commander skills via the comp store, and crafting materials used for these skills will show the exact location and demon you'll have to defeat in order to obtain them. Unlocking more comp and commander skills require you to complete a request from the comp store owner that only becomes available after progressing past main story beats. Summoner skills are passives that can enhance each summoner's stats and stack growth, as well as give you abilities that'll aid you outside of combat. And this can get confusing, so I want to repeat this. Comp skills can get you abilities that can help you during combat, while summoner skills can get you abilities that can help you outside of combat. You'll obtain summoner skills by reaching certain segments of that character's soul matrix. Once a character gets a new summoner skill, Ringo will have the ability to learn one as well. To unlock gates in the soul matrix, you must increase your soul level, which can be obtained by selecting certain dialogue choices during the main story, hanging out with friends, which can be triggered by obtaining items in story dungeons or finishing specific requests. Mystiques are a great way to complement and to add anything you feel is missing from your character builds. Its effects range from enhancing the potency of a specific element to equipping a specific skill despite whatever demon you have equipped. Mystiques do not include physical melee or ranged attacks in its Mystique Affinities list. It instead has Almighty, Support, and Healing. At the beginning, you'll have a chance to be gifted Mystiques when demons learn all of their skills. Later, you can trade in multiples and even learn a skill to raise the likelihood that you'll receive Mistiques. Mistiques have different ranks. You'll need to upgrade that Mystique Affinities rank to be able to use more powerful ranking Mistiques of that affinity. You can upgrade this at the comp store. It is easier to level and acquire demons in the game, meaning Mistiques are a viable option to customize your character. Each character has 2 band affinities that you cannot enhance. You can unlock these later, but it's worth more to focus on what your characters are able to work with now. And that, my friends, are the important elements of Soul Hackers 2 that I believe will help you get going in its incredibly fun and complementary systems. Please feel free to skip around the video using the chapter markers if you need a refresher. And more importantly, if you have additional questions, please don't hesitate to post it in the comments below. If you've finished Soul Hackers 2, post your tips and tricks in the comments as well. And if there's anything I can help clear up, I'll most certainly try to answer your questions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.